Solve this problem here. A rectangle was altered by increasing its length by 10% and decreasing its width by p%. If these alterations decreased the area of the rectangle by 12%, what is the value of p? So first, we need to solve for the area of the original rectangle. So we let L be the length of the rectangle and W be the width of the original rectangle. So the area of the rectangle is just length times width. So this is the area of the original rectangle, L times W. It says here that the rectangle is altered by increasing the length by 10% and decreasing its width by p%. Of the altered rectangle is just the original length plus 10% of that length, and the width of the altered rectangle is just the original width. It says here decreasing by p%, so that is minus p% of the width. Therefore, the length of the altered rectangle is just 1.1 times the length of the original rectangle, and then the length of the width of the altered rectangle is just 1 minus p over 100 times the original width. And it also says here that these alterations decreased the area of the rectangle by 12%. So the area of the altered rectangle is just equal to the area of the original minus 12% of the area of the original rectangle. So the area of the altered rectangle would be just 1 minus 0.12 times the area of the original rectangle, and this is just equal to 0.88 times the area of the original rectangle. And now we can plug in everything to the equation A equals length times width. So area of the altered rectangle, length of the altered rectangle, and width of the altered rectangle. So we can just plug in everything to solve for P. So this is just 0.88 A equals 1.1 L, or we can just write this like this: 1.1 times 1.1 L times 1 minus P over 100 W. And since the area is just equal to length times width, or L times W, we can write this expression here as 0.88 A equals 1.1 times 1 minus P over 100 times LW. And then LW here is just equal to A. So we can write this one as 0.88 A equals 1.1 times 1 minus P over 100 times A. And then we divide both sides by A. A cancels out. So we're left with 0.88 equals 1.1 times 1 minus P over 100. And now we can solve for the value of P by simplifying the expression on the right. So this is just equal to 0.88 equals 1.1 minus 1.1 p over 100, and then multiplying both sides by 100, and we get 88 equals 110 minus 1.1 p, and subtract 110 from both sides. This cancels out, so we are left with 88 minus 110 is just equal to negative 22 equals negative 1.1 p. We divide both sides by negative 1.1. This cancels out, so p is just equal to negative 22 divided by negative 1.1. So p is just equal to 20. So the answer here is letter C. Another problem here. Tickets for a school talent show cost $2 for students and $3 for adults. If Chris spends at least $11 but no more than $14 on X student tickets and one adult ticket, what is one possible value of X? Since each student ticket here costs $2 and each adult ticket costs $3, the total amount in dollars that Chris spends on X student tickets and one adult ticket would be $2 times X students plus $3 times one adult. So we have an equation or expression 2x plus 3. And it says here Chris spends at least $11 but no more than $14 on the tickets. At least means no less than or greater than or equal. When you say no more than, okay, that means at most or less than or equal to. So it says here, if Chris spends at least $11, so this is 2x plus 3, at least 11, but no more than $14. So it'll be 2x plus 3 less than or equal to 14. And now we can solve for the possible values of x here. So let's solve for x, the value of x here. We subtract 3 from both sides here. This cancels out, so we're left with 2x greater than or equal to 8, and we divide both sides by 2. X is greater than or equal to 4. And the other expression, no more than $14. So we subtract 3 from both sides. This cancels out, so we have 2x less than or equal to 11. We divide both sides by 2. So x here is less than or equal to 11 over 2, or 5.5. So the value of x here must be an integer that is both greater than or equal to 4 and less than or equal to 5.5. Therefore, x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 5. So either 4 or 5 may be the correct answer here. So you can answer x equals 4 or x equals 5.